Hey guys, on site here, Zippity's Garage at Amelia Island, and you may have seen me posting a bunch of photographs and so forth about this particular car behind me. It is the Cunningham C8 Corvette, and we've got Antonio here, one of the directors of CEO of Cunningham Automotive, and he's going to kind of walk us through it because I'm certainly not going to do it justice. So I'm going to hand the microphone over to him, and we'll go around the car together. So.
Hello folks, how are you? My name's Antonio Pierce with Cunningham Automotive, and this is our new 60th anniversary C8 Corvette. This vehicle is built in conjunction with Lingenfelter, our build partner. They basically take this car in, a C8, full 3LT packaged, 3.8 with every option checked, upgrade the engine from 495 horsepower to 603 with a new carbon, exposed carbon intake manifold from Performance Design, along with headers from Corsa, new export exhaust from Corsa, and airbox from Corsa. And making this car breathe better, they were able to get up to 603 horsepower out of it, naturally aspirated, 97 horsepower per liter out of a push rod. Pretty amazing. Wheels are HRE forged aluminum wheels. They are designed to mimic the shape and look of the original Halibrands that were on the 1960 Le Mans car that won its class at Le Mans. And the brakes on the car right now, what you see are the standard brakes. This are the Z51 package that are currently on the car, but the actual production anniversary car has either Alcon 400 millimeter or Racing Brake 400 millimeter rotors on there with 6-pot. The wing and other features you see on the car here, these were all designed by Peter Stevens. He did the original artwork on the car. If you might remember, we did originally have an air scoop here on the top. That was the original concept art that Peter had provided. And later revisions of that, we basically changed it to the side scoops, and then with the aero fender, we worked out with that. These parts were engineered by Leap Racing out of Atlanta. They did all of the work, and Leap Racing are an incredibly skilled team. They have 3 Le Mans winners under their belt. They're led by Brian Willis. He is a former engineer from Multimatic. He was responsible for the design of the Ford GT at Multimatic, and before that had done work and was, I believe, chief engineer, if I'm not mistaken, on the 1999 BMW Le Mans winner, and also the 2004 Go Racing Le Mans winner for Audi. So really great history. And the wing on this car basically is designed to take up to 1,200 pounds of downforce at 150 miles an hour. It has 6 degrees of manual adjustment to maximize that downforce. The low wing is basically just there to keep the air stable so that the high wing does what it needs to do. And then the aero fin is both an aero feature on the car as well as the rear camera mount location. So we raised the camera mount 4 inches so they can see over the rear wing. And then coming around the car, you have on both windows, you have the anniversary edition markings, as well as the Le Mans logo, which is the same color as our emblem. And then all of the carbon you see on the car is actual carbon fiber that's been printed on. So here, this is actual carbon, and then below it you see the exposed carbon of the side sill, basically the rocker fences. And that goes right around to the rear valence, which is also exposed carbon. And then on the wheel hubs, you notice that the Cunningham is also on carbon. That's also actual carbon fiber that's been printed on. So basically, we tried to cover every base. The stripes on the vehicle are painted. They're not vinyl. And these, of course, you may be aware or may not be aware that Cunningham is actually the creator of racing stripes. What happened was in 1950, when Briggs first went to Le Mans, he had a problem. The cars, you couldn't see the frame rails any longer. And the American racing colors are white body with blue frame rails. So what Briggs did was he decided, well, we got to show the colors. So he took the blue frame rail color from the right and the blue frame rail color from the left and moved them to the middle of the car. And when he did that, he created racing stripes. And so they're actually frame rail colors going down the middle of the car. That's what they actually are. But on this vehicle, what we did a little bit different. Normally the Cunningham stripes are perfectly straight back to front and about an inch apart. What we did here was we didn't want to have this car confused with any other Corvette. So we changed the shape of the stripe a little bit, because in 2021 you can now get a white Corvette with blue stripes. So on this vehicle, we didn't go the full length of the car. We basically followed the lines of the Corvette emblem and the width of that emblem and its center point, and followed that throughout the back of the car. So that it follows the contours of the car all the way to the back, and when it gets to the very rear of the car, it actually becomes a vanishing point at the back of the car. So as it comes right over the top, it goes right to a vanishing point at the back of the car. So we took the opportunity to basically update that and make it unique to this vehicle. And then the last thing, and probably the most important thing, the original 1960 Le Mans car had red headlight covers, and the number 2 car had blue headlight covers, and the number 1 white headlight covers. And on this car, if you look on the front and rear of the car, you will see red highlights. This is a number 3 car. It has the red headlights, red highlights. If this was a number 2 car, it would have blue highlights, and number 1 car, sorry, it would be white. So basically, we tried to carry that over from the original car to the anniversary car. So we basically have tried to think of everything here and really build a car that's special and that people will be proud to own, and that will basically carry on the legacy of Cunningham going forward as we continue to build out new vehicles in the future.
And how much is this car?
$140,000 retail is the cost for the new anniversary car, and of course available through Chip Miller Foundation with the raffle, which we're glad to support, and we're glad that we could be here today to. We're glad that we could be here today to support the Chip Miller Foundation at the Excusa helicopter.
Yeah.
So, really, really proud of the vehicle. And
can we take a look at the inside real quick?
Absolutely, absolutely. So basically, this is the tension blue interior from GM, and with the competition seats, and then the headrests are embroidered for the anniversary car with 33 of 60 right on the headrests, and each car will get that. And for this car, of course, is a very special one for Chip Miller. So we're really pleased with the way everything came out, and the color match for the blue tension with our stripes and everything about the car is pretty perfect. So it really has come out to be a wonderful package. I hope everyone is pleased with it. And I hope you all buy a lot of tickets.
Absolutely.
So they can help.
A lot of tickets for the
exactly.
foundation. And what's the Cunningham website?
It's CunninghamAutomotive.com.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So there we go, guys. So there was a quick walk around this Cunningham C8 Tribute Corvette. A very special car that you can actually purchase. And that $140,000 does include the price of the car. I know there are some aftermarket folks that, you need to donate your car and then it gets worked on. That $140,000 includes the price of the car. So with that said, this is the sweepstakes car that if you go to chipmiller.org and enter the code Amelia, that is where you can get your sweepstakes tickets for this particular car. And one thing that Antonio did not mention is the Jerry Kiefer print. You see here the light paintings that they do. They will include a light painting portrait of your actual car. So again, and the blades here are painted. Just a beautiful, beautiful car. It's going to stand out from any other C8 that's out there. Welcome back to Zippity's Garage, on location at Amelia Island, Florida for the 2021 car show. So behind me, you see the Cunningham Corvette. This was the 1960 Corvette that won its class at Le Mans. The story goes that Briggs Cunningham privateered 3 Corvettes to go over to the race. Bought the cars from General Motors in New York City, had the cars prepped with bigger brakes, bigger gas tank, a little beefier suspension, and then had the cars sent to LeMans to run in the 1960 24 Hours of Le Mans. This car, number 3, won its class and finished 8th overall. Pretty significant history with this particular car. And the caretaker, current owner of the car, is Lance Miller and the Miller family. And check out chipmiller.org, the Chip Miller Amyloidosis Foundation, for more information on the car, the history of the car, but also more on the charity itself and what amyloidosis is all about, raise awareness and so forth about that terrible disease that took Chip Miller from us. But what was really cool and a really great story, as you see, in 2010, 50 years after it won its class, the car was returned to Le Mans with Lance Miller at the wheel, and in the passenger seat was John Fitch. John was the original driver of the car and was returned to Le Mans to drive the vehicle on track, parade laps, photographs along with the current Corvette racing team. Let's see what this thing looks like. You know, full on metal buckets. Imagine sitting in this thing for 24 hours at night with these headlights in the rain. Those guys were superheroes and just absolutely nuts. You can see the dashboard. I'm going to come around to the other side here real quick. You can see John Fitch autographed it in 2006, but then also when they returned to Le Mans, living the dream at Le Mans, June 12th, 2010, John Fitch and Lance Miller. Pretty amazing story. You can see, you know, a lot of the different modifications that were done to this car, but it's still, you know, for a race car, you know, it's still got a clock in it. Still got, you know, you can see they relocated the full fuel filler for the gas tank. Everything about this car, as far as the wheels, brakes, even these custom hood pins had to be fabricated to make this car return to its race livery. And like I said, there were a total of 3 cars that were privateered by Briggs Cunningham. This is car number 3. Car number 2 is in a private collection out in Los Angeles, California, in race condition, like you see here. Car number 1, that was the car we focused on yesterday, and I'll put a link to the video down below, crossed the auction block here at Amelia Island in as-found condition. When I say as-found condition, I won't say it was in a junkyard, but it's in pretty rough shape. Sold for just under, I believe, $700,000. I think it was $685 was the hammer price. And that car is going to begin a full-on restoration. And hopefully at one point here, we can get cars number 1, number 2, and number 3 back together again. One of the cool styling features on this car is the red headlight covers. Car number 2 had blue headlight covers. Car number 1 had white headlight covers. This way, when they were coming down the straight, they could identify which car was coming at them just from the color. So for more information on this car, head over to chipmiller.org, learn all about amyloidosis and all about the history of this vehicle. And the Cunningham Motor Cars Company is still in existence today. And I'm going to pan over to the C8, and this C8 Corvette is what pays tribute to that 1960 race car. You can see the red accents here. This is a tribute to the number 3 car. They're going to be making a tribute to the number 2 car with blue accents, and they will be making a tribute to the number 1 car with white accents. Lingenfelter has breathed some additional power into this car bringing it up closer to 600 horsepower. And if you're interested, the vehicle is for sale at about $140 from Cunningham Motor Cars, but act quickly. They are selling and taking reservations. This particular car is a sweepstakes car. If you head over to CorvetteRaffle.com or ChipMiller.org, you'll find the link to enter. These are functional air intakes for the motor, relocated camera, rear-facing camera, and custom spoiler made in Germany. And I'll go inside real quick. You can see the custom door sills, as well as the custom stitching on the headrest. And they are all 3LTs, Z51 cars. Beautiful, beautiful car. Comes with both tops.
Yeah, maybe.
And the stripes are painted.
Okay, well, just give me the keys now. I'll give you the 25.
So head over to chipmiller.org to learn more about this particular car, and check out Cunningham Motor Cars as well to learn more about this special C8 Corvette.